If we were to look at a satellite image of the Earth from 1978, we could conclude that the land masses were green and the oceans were blue. However, if we were to look at a satellite image of the world now, it would show the oceans are still blue, but the land masses are a light brown. This color change is caused by the removal of trees or forests on the land masses. Many of us know this term as deforestation. There are many causes of deforestation, which include urbanization and human consumption, changing of the weather patterns, natural disasters, mining, and farming and agriculture. Even with these problems, there are multiple solutions that we can do to decrease the problem of deforestation, such as reforestation, conservation, restoration, farming land responsibly, creating protected forest areas, and simple at-home solutions. First, deforestation, if you may not know, is the mass destruction or clearing of Earth's land covered with forests through clear-cutting, forest degradation, or natural disasters. Clear-cutting is the removal of all trees from a certain tract of forest where the entire forest canopy is removed. Forest degradation is the decrease of quality of the trees within the forest, and through the forest degradation, trees are rendered unable to complete necessary environmental tasks, such as taking in sunlight and water, and eventually this makes the tree become weak and it dies off. Forests can also be destroyed by natural disasters such as forest fires, floods, and in some areas, hurricanes and volcanic eruptions. Each year, millions of acres of forests are destroyed. The first problem is urbanization and human consumption, and this is just one of the minor causes of deforestation. The population of the world is growing every day. Due to the increase in population, there is a greater demand for products. Some of these products include wood products that are used to build many houses. The wooded areas are cut down to make way for growing cities, and the trees are being cut down are used for timber to build the homes. The next cause is weather pattern changing. The weather of the world is increasing in temperature. In parts of the northern hemisphere where the world is covered in ice and frost, there are areas covered in permafrost, which is a layer of soil that remains permanently frozen. As the temperature of the atmosphere increases, the permafrost melts, causing trees to lose their anchoring in the ground. Trees can even become detached from the earth completely, leaving no roots for a new tree to grow. The increase in temperature are also increasing the onset of insects. Cold winters used to slow down pine beetles, which are insects that burrow into the tree bark of pine trees and lay their eggs. Since it's warmer temperature, they are not slowing down, so now they're attacking the trees more and their eggs are killing off the trees. Another cause of deforestation is natural disasters. Storms and other natural disasters such as hurricanes and tornadoes are growing in force. Hurricanes are ocean-based storms with high-powered winds, and they are growing in size and frequency every day. The high flood waters from storms are washing away the sediments of trees that are anchored into the ground, causing trees to wash away, and also another storm that affects them is tornadoes. Tornadoes are inland storms that take shape as huge rotating funnels of wind that uproot trees from thin soil. With the air on Earth becoming much warmer, such as with the changing weather patterns, it increases the chances of lightning. Lightning strikes trees and travels through their trunks and catches the forest floor on fire. The fire can travel from tree to tree, eventually setting a whole forest aflame. Another cause of deforestation is mining. Many minerals are mined, including coal and copper and iron. Trees are cleared from specific areas to provide room for mining operations. When bulldozers dig up soil to find minerals, many trees are destroyed in the process. The land is not easily restored and remains empty for many years after. Once minerals are harvested, they are taken to power plants, factories, and industrial parks. There, the emissions from the industries can cause harmful toxins to enter the atmosphere, such as nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide. These toxins combine with water vapor in the air, creating acid rain, which eventually falls back to the earth. When the acid rain falls back to the earth, it enters the soil and damages the roots of trees and other vegetation, causing them to suffer from root and bark damage and eventually killing them. One of the top causes of deforestation is the high demand of land for farming and agricultural purposes, such as this area. Forests are being cut down and cleared for pastures for animals and fields for crops. When trees and vegetation are removed from the land, the soil is not held in place, and it makes it easier to be blown away by high winds or washed away by rain. When a forest is cleared for animal pastures, the forest cannot be returned to a forest like it would be if we had cleared it for crops. This is because hoofed animals, such as cattle, press the soil together and it becomes compacted. And when an area becomes compacted, it can become a desert, making vegetation unable to grow at all. So you did hear about the causes of deforestation. Well, now I'm going to tell you about the solutions. So there are many solutions to solving the deforestation problem. The first way to solve it is to restore the Earth's forests by planting new trees. To replace the trees cut down in urban areas that are being built, new trees can be planted in their place. There are many organizations that are working to do this in a large scale. Two of these organizations are Trees for Forever and Plant a Billion Trees. Trees for the Future is an organization that has assisted thousands of communities in planting millions of trees in over 19 countries. And Plant a Billion Trees is an organization that helps plant tree seedlings in devastated areas and helps trees regenerate themselves. You can assist these organizations simply by donating or volunteering your time. Another solution is conservation, which is a type of forest management which protects the forests that already exist. Steps can be taken when trying to conserve the forests. One of these steps includes putting restrictions on logging. Countries around the world have been putting restrictions on their logging laws and have been cracking down on any violations. And believe it or not, conservation is also achieved through forest fires. Through fire management, firefighters and park managers in many states have learned to manage forest fires through controlled burns. The smoke from the fire stunts the growth of certain fungi that harms living trees, and the heat from the fire causes larger trees to release seeds and leaves producing large amounts of sprout growth for newer trees to develop. Another solution of deforestation is restoration, which is when the forest is attempted to be brought back to its original or natural state. When a forest is being restored, the trees grow themselves back. When an area isn't touched or have human interaction, the wildlife and vegetation no longer have stress applied. So when there's no stress applied to the environment, the forest and other vegetation can properly heal and repair themselves on their own. This process does take time and many years for young trees to grow into mature adults. Interference needs to be kept at a minimum, and this is the easiest step we can do by just leaving the trees alone and letting them heal themselves. Farming land responsibly is another solution for deforestation. One way to farm responsibly is by using fields for crops instead of for animals. Since larger hooved livestock compact the soil, the only solution to continue using livestock is to reduce the number of livestock in a certain area or raise smaller livestock such as poultry. And crops do provide more benefits to the soil than livestock do. Farmers use fertilizers and pesticides on their crops. However, these products can be harmful to the soil. Farmers can change their ways by organic farming. Organic farmers rotate their crops every year in certain places each year. With crop rotation, it adds nutrients to the soil and keeps the soil healthy. So when the soil is healthy, vegetations and trees can be regrown when the crops are decided not to grow anymore. Another solution for deforestation is creating protected forested areas. Protected areas include national parks and reserves. The World Wildlife has created protected areas in more than 100 countries around the world. The World Wildlife also continues to support protected areas in countries that are unable to upkeep their own areas. World Wildlife is also accepting donations to assist in their efforts. The last and most common solution for deforestation is simple at-home solutions. Changes at home can help change the world. At home, we can reduce the amount of paper products used, reduce the amount, reuse the paper, or recycle used paper. At home, we can also raise awareness and fundraise. There are many associations and organizations out there that are trying to save the world's forests. Organizations such as the Sierra Club and Natural Conservancy have purchased land and have pushed for legal protection of legal and privately owned forests, and they are always accepting donations. Also, students in school can raise awareness and help fundraise. The money fundraised can be donated to these organizations. In conclusion, forests of the world are in danger every day. More and more tracts of forest are being lost daily by deforestation. However, deforestation can be stopped or at least decreased exponentially. Today we learned that urbanization and human consumption, changing weather patterns, natural disasters, mining, and farming and agriculture are the major causes of deforestation. However, today we also learned that we can do what we can do for our environment to help save the trees and forests by reforesting treeless areas, conserving what forests we have now, restoring destroyed trees, farming our land responsibly, creating protected forest areas, and simple at-home solutions to save the forests of the world. Thank you.